welcome to Unprepared. I'm Megan, and as usual, I am unprepared. And with me today are two wonderful guests. We're going to play an awesome game. But first, we will introduce our guests. And so we will start with Izza, who is to my left. So, of course, I gave it away. I gave away who the guest was. I can't tell them to tell you who you are when I've already told them, but
yeah,
just for
what
fun.
What is left for me to say?
Yeah, so who
now?
are you and where can people find you? And what's your favorite GMless game?
Hello, I'm Izza, otherwise known as Evil Clever Dog. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be playing the hero. And I have played two other GMless games. I very much enjoyed Dialect. That was very fun.
In this house, we love Dialect. This is not a mystery about how much I love Dialect. Dialect is very, very good. And to my other side, James, who are you?
Hello.
Where can people find you? And what's your favorite GMless game?
Hello. Yeah, I am James. You can find me online. I'm I'm nailing this one.
It's fine. Nobody's watching.
You can find me on Twitter @andthemeltdowns, and I am a podcaster, and you can find my podcast, which is called Protean City Comics. It's a podcast about teenage superheroes. So if that's the kind of thing that you're into, come listen to us. And I do a game design podcast called Stop Hack and Roll. So if you're into game design, you can listen to that. And my favorite GMless game is probably, if not Us, then Who by Riley Hopkins, which is a game about playing a season of Power Rangers.
Yes.
So when are we playing that?
I remember hearing you talk about that.
It's very cool. It's a lot like this game, actually.
1 minute. Give me a second.
I need to play that too.
Real quick.
I need that.
Yes, you should.
I do remember you talking about it.
Yeah, you create a whole bunch of heroes and villains, then you draw cards, and each card is an episode. So you play through a season, and it gives you all the story beats you need to hit an episode of Power Rangers. It's very good.
Yeah, we're gonna play that.
Yes,
because that sounds amazing. Chat also wants that, which, yes. Also, chat says that you can find James on the internet, just the internet.
Oh yeah, I'm podcasting James Malloy.
Podcasting is James Malloy. And yes, I'm Megan. Hi, this is my show. You can find me most places you can find a person on capital T, capital I, the internet at Megan and FTW. And as usual, my favorite GMless game is Dialect. I think I waffle every episode between Dialect and Starcrossed, which are my two most favorite games ever, but today I'm going to give it to Dialect because Izza put it in my brain and I am now remembering how deeply I love Dialect. So yes. So today, this is a show. We're going to play a game. Today we are playing Anyone Can Wear the Mask by the amazing Jeff Stormer. It is a game about a hero, a villain, and the city that they live in. Where we will be playing the hero, the villain, and the city that they live in, as evidenced by. So first, to kick it off, what we're gonna do is we are gonna do some character creation. Well, you two are characters. I'm a character. I'm
a secret
many
character.
characters.
You know, in a movie when people are like, "Oh my god, it's like the location was another character in the film." It's like that.
Like Sex and the City has 4 main characters, but 5 if you count the city of New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those people. But yes, I will be playing the city, which this is unprepared. Otherwise, I would have thought of a name ahead of time to save myself a great deal of grief, because, hi.
Megan quickly scrolling through behindthename.com.
FantasyNameGenerators.com. Sponsor me.
City generator.
There's a city generator.
Central City.
Name.
Fast City.
Big City.
Big City.
Big City.
It's like you think about, like, my mind immediately went to, like, Teen Titans Go as Jump City. It's like, it doesn't need to be something fancy.
My Urban Shadows game that I'm running is in Party City.
Wait,
I like that.
like the store Party City?
It's both, actually. The city is called Party City, but then there are Party City stores, which are the front for the vampire nightclubs.
So they're called the Party City Party Cities.
Yes.
It's a lot to unpack there, but I like all
Yeah.
of it. I like everything you're saying.
If I have a brand, it's a hat on top of another hat, and then on top of another hat.
With human arms.
Yes, with human arms.
So this city, God, it's got to be something radically shitposty because
Radical City.
Because it's me. Like Metro City, super cool city. Oh,
I like
this shouldn't be the hard part. I do the Crab City. Crab City. Crab City. That's what it is. Crab City. God, I love crabs. Crabs are just the best. And one day I will get to be one. So we are in Crab City. It's a coastal town. It's a coastal city, obviously. So character creation. So obviously each character has a separate section of character creation, but we're going to do most of it together because I don't like to do things alone because it's hard to come up with ideas by myself. So to create the city, districts? We need 4 districts in Crab City.
4 district.
Yes, so we're going to break district. This. Jeff, I would like to formally apologize for what we're about to do to your game. The shitpost city. We've got the meme district. So the Old Bay. 100% yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So we're definitely one of them is the Old Bay for sure. Write that down.
What card suit should that be?
Let me take a look at what the Scuttle District. That's really good too. Sam, you're so good at this.
I quite like the pincers as well.
I do like the pincers. The pincers sounds like the
like the rough part of town.
Like the seedy part of town. They're like you don't want to be caught walking alone at night in the pincers. Oh my god. So let's see. I want to peek ahead and see what they. All right. So the pincers is going to be Spades. Because this is a card-based game, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. So we're assigning a spot of the city to each suit in a deck of cards. And as we pull the cards, the suit will determine where our scene takes place. I think that, let's see. I almost don't want to assign everything until we go to the hero and figure out what their strong suit is. Because then we can figure. But I like the Scuttle District. So there's going to be the Scuttle. So we have the Old Bay. We have the Pincers. We have the Scuttle District. All life eventually becomes Crab.
All cities eventually become Crab City.
All cities eventually become Crab City.
I feel like the theme of the city is now directly like antithetical to the hero I created.
No, it's fine.
Is it like a world-spanning city? Just because all cities become Crab City?
All cities become Crab. Is this like an island?
It's perpetually just like growing an island and consuming city. Other cities until all cities are Crab City. All cities are Crab.
It's not colonialist because everyone wants to be Crab.
The Crab City expands, and eventually they find another city, and that city has already become Crab City because all cities become Crab City.
All cities, and then it just becomes
part of it.
Larger
it comes
Crab
home.
City.
It's the natural progression of all cities.
Oh God. We need one more district. We need one more location in Crab City. Huh. Like, what do we have? Like where do crabs live? Like, is there like a big residential section of this city? Like, where do crabs? Where do crabs live?
Is there like a salt district?
Salt. That's where the
Is
salt
there
people live.
shell? Something about the shell.
Mm.
Shell's Kitchen.
That's
I need
something.
to leave.
Shell's Kitchen it is.
Can you kick someone off their own?
Yeah, can I be removed from my own show? Well, I've written it down. Nobody needs to know it's an erasable pen. It cannot be redone now.
Does it have an apostrophe in it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Off to a great
but
start.
I'm not. Yeah, this is great. We're doing a great job. We're doing a great job.
Nat's
So
disappointed in us.
Oh, when are they not? I'll have you know they have to love us unconditionally. So how large is the city? So like
all
what's,
consuming.
like,
It's all consuming.
we'll call it a sprawling seaside metropolis.
Yeah.
Of Crab City. a scuttling seaside metropolis. Of course, I'm writing everything so I don't have the click. All right, so I think that's all I need to do for city setup. Yeah, we just we move on to the hero of Crab City. One of the heroes of Crab City. Crab City is a large city. There are multiple heroes.
Of course, yeah.
As you do. So for the hero, we will determine your name, where your powers come from, how powerful you are, and then we'll pick your strong suit by figuring out what kind of hero you are to Crab City. So, oh no! There we go.
Perpetually, infinitely on brand. I was gonna do a fire-themed hero. Oh wait, did I drop?
You're here.
Nope, you didn't. You're good. You're back. You froze for a second, and then you came back.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna do a cool fire-themed hero, but I'm now feeling as though with the theme being Crab City, maybe I should change that, or maybe it would just be fine to have a fire-themed character in a beachside city. Anyway, her name is Spitfire. Her superhero name is Spitfire.
All of these things, but anyway, I'm just doing it anyway.
Like I said, I have a brand and I have to maintain it. So
yeah, no, it's in your contract.
I do have a like lightning themed hero I could pull out of thin air if we wanted that. But
I like Spitfire is good. So how powerful are you? They have some of the examples are street level vigilante, friendly neighborhood hero, gifted with great power, or a living god. We all know the only god here is the only god here is Crab.
So considering the like elemental power type thing, I think it would be the third one. Maybe it could be friendly neighborhood hero, but I feel like gifted with great power. Yeah, if you can shoot fire from your hands, you know.
Yeah, where did your power come from? The options I love: science, magic, technology, ancestry, and who even knows? Question mark. And powers? What powers?
Oh, I kind of like the idea of it being ancestry. Maybe this is like, because you know, Crab City is eternal and everlasting.
It is.
Maybe there have been several iterations of Spitfire. Maybe this is like the family business.
Ooh, yeah. Like as long as Crab City lives, there must always be a Spitfire in Crab City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then we all that's left, we pick your strong suit. So so what we have is clubs, you'll be the hand of the people, protecting them so they can thrive. Diamonds. Oh no.
Oops,
Nope.
sorry, that was me accidentally
problem.
clicking stop video instead of mute. Sorry.
Oh no.
Let's see, did it pop back? Okay, it's good. So yes, clubs, you'll be the hand of the people, protecting them so they can thrive. Diamonds, you'll be the icon that they look up to for inspiration. Hearts, you'll be the smiling face, a friend to those who need it. Or spades, you'll be the dark knight that avenges the injustice they suffer. So what kind of hero is Spitfire?
Is that something I have to pick, or is that we draw a card and it randomly?
Nope. So you pick depending on what kind of hero you want to be. Like, are you the protector? Are you like an inspiration? Are you like the nice, like smiling, friendly neighborhood hero? Or are you like the Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight.
That avenges injustice and needs a lozenge.
Look, I'm not Zack Snyder, so we're not doing the last one. I think considering we went with the ancestry idea, that it would be diamonds.
Okay, cool.
Like, this is an iconic hero name and power set that the people in the city across generations are familiar with, kind of thing.
Awesome.
So is that Old Bay?
Yeah, it's gonna be Old. It's gonna be Old Bay.
It's the old district.
We're gonna go with the old Bay. We're gonna go. The Scuttle district is gonna be Hearts. The Pincers is Spades, and Shell's Kitchen are words that I said with my mouth. That came out of my brain, and that's gonna be clubs.
What was Hearts?
Hearts is the Scuttle district.
And Pincers is Spades. Got it. I'm writing this down too.
Yeah.
Like a
so wait, Diamond was the Old Bay.
Okay. Yes, the Old Bay.
And so then your color as a hero is whatever Diamonds is. Blue. And suit is diamonds.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, my blue fire hero.
Well, not like literally.
Yeah, I know. Blue fire is cool.
Suit.
We've all seen Avatar.
Yeah, I'm like, hello. you know Azula, right?
Yeah.
S class villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then, what's left is the villain, which apparently has done lots of secrets surrounding villain character creation.
I'm here to destroy.
Yeah.
Probably because I crave power. And also I'm
or
here
are
to
you
play
allergic
this
to
game.
shellfish?
And all of that is unrelated to this character. I don't think that I'm allergic to shellfish. I think you can't be if you're in Crab City.
I don't think you can be in Crab City.
I would feel incredibly sorry for anyone who's allergic to shellfish in Crab City.
Sorry, Brandon.
That's when allergies just become a matter, like you just mind over matter. You just got to power through that.
Yeah. So we'll find out about my villain later.
Yeah, I do like that part of villain character creation is just like, make a list of 2 to 10 threats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's very menacing, very villainous. It's just like, you're going to do all of these secret things. My God, your villain name should be like the crap. There's definitely a villain. I'm just imagining in this city, like there's definitely like a villain named like the Cracker.
Oh God.
I can't turn it off. It's begun. The wheels are spinning on these horrible ideas, and it's just really beautiful. So all the villain stuff will come out as we play, because villains are secret and they're doing secret things in secret. So I think we kind of get on into it at this point, and this game is really cool. well, for a myriad of reasons, but it's like I had said earlier, it's a deck and prompt based game, which is totally my jam. And we will just draw a card. The value and suit will determine what is happening and where it is happening, and we will kind of figure out what the scenes are from there as our hero and villain do hero and villain things, and I frantically try to create set dressing around them.
Can I also add, because Jeff would want me to
Yes.
add this, that
Yes.
at some point there will be a crisis and the hero will fail, because the hero always fails in the crisis. But that's okay because they're the hero. So eventually they will win. You don't have to panic, you don't have to worry, listeners, viewers.
Spitfire never fails.
Spitfire never fails. Crab City always
Except for
needs
that
a
one
Spitfire. For that one time, just a little bit. But in the end, it is written into the game. Then in the end, the hero wins.
Yes, there will be a big showdown, and then there will be a bigger showdown. I imagine like you have to fail. I'm just imagining that BDG video. It's like, and then you fail. You do have to fail once. It's fine. Insert Michael Caine impression here. Why do we fall? So we can get back up again. Yes, we can fail once as a treat. But that makes good character development. So we will only go through one Spitfire. We're not playing I was gonna say we're not playing those games. We're playing a game. We're not playing a game where we're not recycling heroes. We just have the one. This is Spitfire's story. And she's gonna face this secret villain of secrets. Ooh. So when it's time to start play, the hero should make a spot on the map that is their home. So you will tell us where Spitfire lives. And then it says, is it a stately manor? Is it a fortress of solitude on the far side of town? Is it their aunt's house? As an par example. So we will figure out, so where does Spitfire live in this city? And I think another thing to establish ahead of time is like, do people know, like, is Spitfire like a masked like secret identity hero, or do people know that Spitfire's like civilian self is Spitfire, whatever her civilian name is?
God, the temptation to make it like a bullshit this hero is a celebrity and has nothing but their hero life thing.
I mean, I freaking love that trope, so
yeah, me too.
If you want to do that, then do that. I mean, if Crab City always needs a Spitfire,
there's always gonna be one.
Then
exactly. Yeah, I think there's like a, you know, superhero team base of operations that Spitfire operates out of, kind of thing. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, where in the city is it? Where are we operating out of?
Well, the Pincers was all like residential, so I don't think it would be there. Yeah. What was Scuttle District again?
No, Scuttle District was the residential. I think was
Shell's Kitchen was residential, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Pincers is the bad part of town.
Yeah, Pincers bad part of town, so part of town. Also not that. And yeah, what was Scuttle District again?
Whatever you want it to be. It can be whatever. It's
my instinct says the Old Bay, if that's like
okay. Yeah.
The older part of town. You can be like, that's the older part of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean this team has been there for a while anyway, so
yeah. And maybe she's the recently appointed new Spitfire. Having to step into big shoes to fill.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So that is where I'm gonna draw a little picture of a house next to that with my just limitless art skills. Just so I remember. Okay. So we will draw our first card.
Oh boy.
It is a Jack of Spades. So a Jack is somewhere peaceful, and Spades is the pincers, which seems all counterproductive, but maybe there's probably nice places in there. It can't all be bad. So the hero encounters someone in need, someone who can help them on their journey to defeat the villain, but who needs something from the hero first. When you arrive here, perform the following. So we all have specific moves to do. So for Spades, you will encounter a rival. They need someone to stand up to them before people get hurt, is what we're working with here in the city. So let's see here. So let me.
So does that mean the villain, or does that mean something else?
That is something. Yeah, no, that's my deal. Because the here. So, man, being the city is the hard one.
Yeah, it means you have to go first.
Yeah, right. No, it's fine. It's fine. So I'm just trying to figure out. Describe the scene. There could be other people here. Yeah, so this is. All right. Let me swing back over to my name generator. Oh, that's a good name. Okay. So we are. Let me move my PDF over here. So the scene. So somebody needs something. They need someone to stand up to them. Okay.
Is it another hero?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that it's another hero, like, because the prompt says they need someone to stand up to them before people get hurt. So I feel like it's maybe it's another hero. Okay, so it is. All right, let me think of a cool name. So their name is. It's another lesser known fire themed hero. Called Sparkler.
Okay.
They're like the B, like the B team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're the backup Spitfire. Okay.
Yeah, right. They're like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. It's like, you are not ready to play at all. So this is Sparkler, who's a lesser known fire themed hero in the city. That's like really like, it's one of those where they think that you're rivals, but you are only vaguely aware that they exist.
Right.
But they're like, no, we are rivals. Like, like I will overtake you and be rivals. And you're just like, I've got stuff to do.
Did you see the mean comments I left on your tweets?
Go home. So I think this scene is they're in just like this area of the pincers, and the pincers I think is largely like more like industrial businessy, not like nice businessy, but like industrial parks and things like that. And Sparkler is there, and they are trying to like stop they're just like kind of hyping themselves up. They're like trying to be like, look how great I am. Like, we don't need Spitfire. Spitfire's hanging out in her giant mansion over in the Old Bay, and she thinks she's better than all of you. And they're like doing all of these like fancy pyrotechnics, which aren't great. This is like Jubilee-esque at best pyrotechnics. And you're just cruising through and you hear this disturbance and you see they're just like shooting off all these like little pyrotechnics and they're like landing on things and like starting to ignite a little bit and like they're like hitting people and just like kind of like giving them a singe, and you just know that if you don't go say something, that like somebody is going to get injured because this person is just like recklessly doing fire to prove that they can be a hero. They're just recklessly doing fire in this like side street. So yes, that is our scene as it stands. So the hero, so you're gonna need to stop this person from doing random fire.
Okay.
So looking over, so do we just, I assume we just go around to what everybody else's prompts are, is my assumption. So
yeah.
So the villain, or I'll skip to the hero and then I'll go back to the villain, is
Yeah,
describe how you give describe how you give this person what they need and earn their trust. Mark this location on your map and list their name in your journal as an ally. So what do you do as you like are you in Spitfire mode, or are you in civilian Spitfire but like everyone still knows? Like casual exclamation points.
Always in Spitfire mode.
Always.
I think
so yeah.
So the way I imagine her powers sort of working is that when the fiery mode is on, like she can absorb heat and like fire and heat won't harm her. And that she can like fly and move very fast and is sort of like propelled by those flames. Don't question me on the science, it doesn't matter.
No, it's comic book science, it works perfectly.
Yeah. Like, it's fine.
It makes sense to me.
So I think she notices this happening, immediately sort of activates her powers and flies in to help, and just as maybe one of Sparkler's sort of flames or whatever is about to hit a person, she like flies in front of them and just like absorbs the hit, and it's just kind of standing there looking very stern and disappointed in Sparkler. And just sort of floating there, hands on hips, just like, now I know you know better than this.
I think,
do we like play out a whole scene, or do I have to just like describe the whole thing from beginning to end? I don't know.
Whatever we want to do, we can describe this comic book style. We can whatever you want to do. We can RP it out. We can just talk about it, like whatever you're feeling. I feel like we can do.
What's everyone else feeling?
I think we can even like depend on a case-by-case basis. Like we can talk some stuff out comic book style, or we can RP some stuff out depending on how the scene goes. So I mean, if you want to like RP this with little indignant Sparkler, we can certainly do that.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get a sidekick.
I feel like Sparkler I feel like Sparkler is like a teen hero.
Yeah.
Because this feels sufficiently teen hero, like a teen thing to do.
Don't play with fire, kids. I'm just a walking PSA now.
There's just like
a very special issue.
There's Spitfire posters everywhere.
Yeah.
They're just like, only you can prevent fire.
Spitfire's face on the side of matchboxes being like, keep out of reach from children.
Not every fire is as cool as Spitfire.
Yep.
Don't start fires.
Don't start fires. It's like, you probably look at me and you think, oh, it's really cool to play with fire. Wrong. Don't play with fire.
Leave playing with fire up to the experts.
Like, does this coastal city have that much issues with fire that they need
So
multiple fire safety PSAs?
Yes.
It's a weirdly, it's a dry city. It's a very
Yeah.
dry city.
So I think as Spitfire is like trying to like lecture, be like, you know better than this, like Sparkle's just like, you don't even know what it's like. You're just off in your mansion doing like celebrity hero things when the real heroes are down here solving problems. You don't even know what's going on.
Look, we all play a role. We need heroes out on the streets, and we need heroes defending us from the big scary villains as well. We all play a role. We all have to work together, don't we? And you're not going to be a great hero if you go around hurting civilians. Jumps in front of another civilian to like absorb the fire.
Well, I just like you don't even, you say that we need like heroes in the streets, but like you don't even care about us heroes that are like trying to do things. Like we're trying to
If I didn't care, why would I be here right now preventing you from hurting these people?
I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm just trying to like show people that I can do things. But I mean, I don't know. I just want to help. I want to be a hero.
You've got potential, kid. I can see something in you.
Really?
Yeah, you just need to get a bit of control on the hurting civilians issue and the showboating, okay? She says, while literally engulfed in flames, showboating.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll be better next time.
Maybe we can work together on a crime sometime.
Okay. I'm usually like around here. This is where I live nearby, so like if you're in the neighborhood, like you can usually find me around here. We can fight crime.
Sounds good. What's your name? Your superhero name, not your real name.
Sparkler.
Are you open to workshopping that?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, something to think about.
Okay. So you can add Sparkler to your list of allies.
Yay!
Spitfire.
Is it Sparkler ER or is it Sparkler like LR without the E? Like is it an app?
Sparkler. No.
Like Sparkler.
Oh no, I was
Grizzle.
thinking ER like the things that you buy in like boxes of 20 at a gas station. Just light up. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the only kind of fireworks that you can buy where I live. Because real fireworks aren't allowed.
Leave those to Spitfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have as many sparklers as you want. No fireworks. All right. So then the villain.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
So if we were further along, if we are playing somewhere peaceful, if we were further along, if the hero had taken any injuries, this would be a time where they could recover, remove those injuries, but we don't have any injuries yet. Spitfire has not been damaged. However, something out there in Crab City is ominous and dangerous. Something is brewing, and I think that like we could get a couple panels of Spitfire and Sparkler like walking away together to maybe go grab food or something like that. Like they're just like they're gonna go chat about being heroes, and there's a big splash of a thunderclap, and it's it starts to rain, and it's like, and like there's a couple little like spots on the asphalt where fire had started, and like where sparklers sparkle bits had started, not a lasting fire because it's on the asphalt, but it's just like a little bit, and then we see it like the rain start to come down and it sizzles out, and it's a dark, ominous event.
Ooh, that feels
Spooky.
sufficiently ominous. Spooky. All right. Next card. 10 of Hearts. So with the number cards, our location is somewhere in imminent danger. And Hearts, so we are in the Scuttle district of Crab City.
Of course.
Obviously. And so we are in a place in imminent danger. So let's say, so we have decided that diamonds are Spitfires. Yes, diamonds are the strong suit. So
So this is not in your suit or
yeah,
color.
so this is color only. So in the Scuttle district, people know you, but you haven't earned their trust yet. You're gonna have to work at it.
Okay.
So the Scuttle district, I feel like, is kind of like, yeah, because Shell's kitchen is the residential area. So the Scuttle district, I hate myself. The Scuttle district is kind of like the shopping area, like the businessy area, like a downtowny type place with like your coffee shops and your stores and things like that. So here the hero comes face to face with something that threatens the city. So we've got to figure out where we are and what the threat is that's about to unfold.
Yeah,
so
well, you tell me where we are and I'll figure out the threat.
Cool. Yeah, so we are, all right, because this is funny and I want to do this. So Spitfire is doing a publicity event at a local mall, like a meet and greet type deal, because you are the new Spitfire. So a lot of the city doesn't know you yet. Like they know Spitfire like as an icon of the city, but not you in particular. So you are doing a like meet and greet publicity event at the Crab City Mall, deep in the heart of the Scuttle district. So, and you are in the Scuttle district because people don't super know you. So you're like, I'm gonna come here outside of my normal turf just so like people can see like I am a Spitfire of the people.
Yeah, some PR person was like, we need to, up your demographics in all the other areas. And
yep, your social media manager was like, this is like we gotta go to the Crab City Mall. Like this is where people are. So let me look at, I don't think people like really live in the Scuttle district. I think this is like almost entirely businesses. But there are a decent amount of people here that showed up to meet you. There's a decent crowd waiting. Got like a stack of glossy 8x10s to sign. This is like
nice.
Yeah, it's lit. So
yeah, all these like photos that have been commissioned by like the PR person for the group of superheroes in her superhero outfit with like flame effects behind her and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, like they're like very clearly just like publicity headshots.
Oh, by the way, her superhero outfit definitely involves like a leather jacket that has flames going along the bottom and the sleeves, and then like the fire emblem on the back is like the superhero emblem.
Okay.
The whole, like in the 90s where you had the superhero outfit that was like the skin tight colorful suit and then like the big bulky jacket on top of it, like Rogue.
Absolutely.
It's that kind of thing.
I love it. This is perfect.
Oh, and definitely like some cool fucking sunglasses with like orange tint on them.
And I'm just gonna assume that she also has red to blonde hair.
Oh, I mean,
So
yeah. But it's like coiffed up, like it's like short and then like buzzed on the sides and then kind of like coiffed upwards,
like Captain Marvel style.
In like Endgame, yeah. But
Yeah,
with like a bit more kind of flair to it.
does it look kind of like a flame?
Yes.
Now imagining
Yes.
one of the PCs from Monster Prom is like a demon and she has like fire hair that's like in like a mohawk and it looks pretty dope.
And then when she uses her powers, her hair actually becomes fire. Like, yeah.
Perfect.
This is just my final form.
This is top tier character design. Yeah, this is his final form. So yeah, there are a lot of people here at the Crab City Mall to meet you.
Yeah.
So let's talk threats.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to describe the danger that threatens this place and the people in the city. And then I'll roll some dice to determine how well the fight goes. And then we'll talk about how it happens. So what is going to threaten this press event? So I think you are Spitfire. You're taking pictures of people. You're signing pictures at this big event, and bless you. And suddenly it goes dark over your table, and like maybe like mid signing, and I think that like you look up and there's this like enormous form over the sun that's like between you and the sun, and so the city has been sort of plunged into darkness, because and so I guess actually that the only light then would be if you are on fire or you have fire flames, then that probably eliminates the thing around you. And after a moment, it like comes into focus some more, and there is this like giant it's an enormous like wooden crab shaped airship, that's like it's got like the crab's body, and it has crab legs and some little crab claws, but then it has like balloons above it, and it's just this enormous thing that's floating over the city, and some like ropes drop, and these just like kind of like regular people villains, like the Joker style villains, where they're just like a regular guy in a mask, and they're all wearing penguin masks, and they slide out of these like down the ropes out of this giant crab airship, and they are starting to what kind of weapons do they have? They must have some kind of like uh they've got some kind of like I don't know. What's maybe just something like they've got what it is, they've got crab like pincers, just like a pincer that's like it's kind of like a claw staff sword thing. And they're menacing all of these people who have gathered here for your press event, and they're trying to rob people of their money and their glossy pictures and stuff.
Those glossy 8x10s can catch a pretty penny on internet, so
yeah.
For anybody outside of Crab City that can't regularly get a signed picture of Spitfire.
I mean, all they have to do is wait, and eventually their city will also become Crab City, and then they will be able to get
That's true, and then they'll have their own Spitfire.
Yeah.
As all cities march towards the inevitable crab.
Yeah, I think the people actually they're not holding these crab claws, but they've got like one arm, like it's like a mitt. So they're wielding.
Is that like part of their body, or is it an augmentation?
It's definitely a tool. It's not a mutation. It's not. It's definitely a tool they've got. And so I will roll now. We are in.
So you get 2 dice from me, the city.
Yeah, and we are not in a place where you have an ally, and you haven't taken any injuries. So I believe we just rolled the 2.
Yeah.
You don't have any inspiration yet. So I'm going to
You're
roll
not
2 dice.
inspired.
We're going to take the highest, 2d6s. I have rolled a 6, which means that you push past your limits and become something greater than yourself. How do you inspire these people? You don't have any injuries, but you would have recovered one, and you're also going to take a point of inspiration, which is a currency you can spend later to add an extra die.
All right.
Okay, so I have
Izzo will answer those questions.
So I have 1 inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to push myself beyond my limits in like a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You become
To look
something
super
greater than
badass.
yourself. Something like maybe this is because this is like your sort of this is your moment where you're sort of trying to show off that you are Spitfire in this like press event. Well, now here are these weird crab airship villains,
Yeah.
who have come
That are
to
penguins.
and yeah,
Penguins.
look, they're disguised. They're crab villains who are disguised as penguins. And they've come here to threaten these people, your people, the people that you represent and protect. And so now's your moment.
Okay. I think obviously as soon as these people land and start terrorizing these poor innocent civilians that I am sworn to protect, she sort of leaps to action, becomes engulfed in flames, and just sort of like barrels forward over any of the civilians and sort of like slams into the nearest one of these people that's maybe like trying to wrestle a purse from someone or something. But there are just like so many of them that eventually they do start to overwhelm her a little bit, and sort of like advance on this crowd. And I'm imagining that like in a moment of desperation, as she's just trying to protect these people, she like sort of screams with rage, and the flames sort of become even stronger and then spread out from her and create like a wall of fire that prevents these goons from getting to the people, and it's sort of like a wall of protective fire. um How does the initiative order sort of work? Like, do we sort of go back and forth on it, or do we describe the whole?
We just kind of, I mean, we know that you're going to win. We know that you're going to push past your limits and become something greater.
Okay.
So I guess like I want to know these, like you're clearly like you're throwing fire around. These are just guys in masks with a kind of a weird like weapon. They're gonna just turn tail and start to run. So like, are you chasing them down? Are you gonna pull their airship out, the crab airship out of the sky?
Yeah, I think once they've turned away from the civilians, she's going to turn on the airship, and I think sort of like blasts off from the ground, creating this like charred crater where she was standing before, and just like Captain Marvel in Endgame style, just like blasts through the airship, like smashing through the engines and whatever and what have you, and causing it to sort of like fall down from the sky broken in an area where it will not damage anything too badly, because they always land conveniently where there are no people or important buildings around. Maybe she sort of like propels it towards the bay and makes sure it crashes into the water, and then it can be sort of like salvaged and studied after that.
Yeah. Excellent. I like it.
Yeah. Wow. And that definitely inspires people. All the people like rush out and just like watch it, be like, oh, look what she did.
She's even cooler than the last Spitfire. Yeah, her mom was kind of lame, huh?
She never flew directly through a wooden crab airship. Is there anything else we do?
Yeah, so you successfully saved someone. Mark their name in the journal. Set the card aside. So you did save people. So
yeah,
who, I guess, as
so
the
I will
city.
set that aside for you because I have the cards.
Okay.
So you saved. We're just gonna go big. You saved the mayor of Crab City.
Tight.
And his name is a name that I will tell you right now. His name is Gordon Crabbington the Fourth. He's the mayor of Crab City.
Don't forget that name.
No, I'm gonna write on a post-it note and stick that post-it note to this card.
Yep. We have to read those all later, so.
Because we're gonna need this later.
So do I add him to my list of allies with Sparkler?
No.
Gordon
It's so that's like you have allies who are people who will help you mechanically, and these are people who are the people you've saved, and we'll remember. These are the people who, when you've had your moment of being crushed by the villain, you'll remember these people as the people.
Spoiler alert.
It's in the game. It always goes this way.
Spitfire never fails.
Except that one time when she will. Except for that one time. Jason, stop blowing up my spot. I have very concise, easy to read post-it notes strewn all about my desk area. It's fine. There's nothing to worry about. So yes, so I've set aside this card to remind us that you have saved the mayor of Crab City, Gordon Crabbington the Fourth. And he's very happy to have been saved by you. So congratulations.
Hell yeah. There's probably like a photo on the front page. Congratulations. There's probably like a photo on the front page of the papers and all over social media, like the next day of the mayor and Spitfire shaking hands with like the wreckage of the crab airship in the background.
Yes, in the background. Perfect photo. Your social media manager is going insane. It's just like, this is perfect. So excellent. Okay. Next is another 10. A 10 of spades, which is you're back in the pincers, baby. So there's no match. So you're out of your element here. Maybe these people don't trust you. Maybe you've never been to this part of the city. Good luck. So you're back in the pincers, and we've established that this is kind of like a not great area of town. So I think that the scene is let's see, what is in danger? I think that there is we went really big last time. I think we're gonna go a little bit smaller, because Spitfire is a hero of the people, clearly. So I think that there is just there's somebody that is just walking from their business to their vehicle, and they are carrying their like little envelope of money to go to the bank to make the deposit at the end of the day, and they are being harangued by villains. Penguins? ? Who knows? Well, we will know in a moment once James tells us what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think that we have local shopkeep Oliver Nags, that's Knaggs, is trying to bring his deposit to the bank, and is having a not great time of it.
Oh.
Tell us why, James.
Yeah, so let's see. There were some of those. So like, it was a busy day. There were a lot of, the last time that you faced off against the people wearing penguin masks with crab weapon arm things. There was a big airship. You were very focused on the airship. It was a big deal. It was blotting out the sun. There was a photo shoot that needed to be happening. You needed to show off. And so in that moment, it's understandable. Some of those criminals got away. And so there have been, over the last few days, some scenes like this where common folk in the city, people like salt of the earth, have been being harassed by these people. I think they've ditched their crab arms. They're just sort of like they're not even really trying to threaten too much. They're just trying to like hassle this person. They're trying to take their paycheck. They're just like this. What was the person's name? Remind me again, Megan.
Oliver Nags.
Oliver Nags. Oliver Nags is just trying to like deposit a check from their job, their hard work, and these penguin masked not vigilantes, but like um ne'er do wells have come to just like push them around and steal away this hard earned money, and it's not a good time. Oh, and I guess I need to roll the dice because that's the thing that I do. So you're out of your element. People don't know or trust you here.
So you have one.
One. Although if I roll a one, because we're in the pincers, and you have an ally here. So if I roll a one, then Sparkler can show up and help you out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll. I rolled a 3. So you managed to stop the threat, but it's messy. How did you stop the threat? What goes wrong along the way? And then you can choose to either take an injury or cause collateral damage.
Ooh. So I think maybe because these people clearly don't have powers, I think Spitfire's gotten a little bit cocky about dealing with them. And she just kind of, like when she initially shows up, she just kind of like lands there and tries to sort of intimidate them into leaving without actually doing anything. It's just like, come on, it's me. You saw what I did before. You don't want to fight me. Like, come on. And maybe that means that they then sort of like attack someone or threaten someone in some way. And I think I'm going to take the collateral damage route. I think like
okay.
in the scuffle, like one of her sort of fireballs ends up like blasting the side of a building, or one of them sort of like does a similar thing. I don't know. Do they have like weapons or anything, or they don't have if they don't have the pincers anymore?
I think that they've got the crab crackers, but they're kind of they're using them like nunchucks though.
Amazing.
Or some kind of a melee weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
so yeah, I think between Spitfire and these goons, like, because she doesn't sort of just intercept immediately, because she's gotten a little bit cocky about it, they end up sort of damaging a few shop fronts and maybe starting a small fire that she then has to go and put out, and that means that they get away or something like that. Although it does say that you stopped them, but I've stopped them from harming people, but in the process they get away. I don't know.
It got messy.
Yeah.
So, hey City, there was some collateral damage.
Okay. There was. That means I discard
the top card.
The top card. So that just goes away now. It does not exist anymore. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right.
But you still saved someone.
Yeah. You still saved him. He got to go to the bank, make his deposit.
The bank was a bit on fire, but I think I did a good job.
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. All right. So, next, we have a queen, which is somewhere personal. So I'm going to scroll down. It is a queen of clubs. So we are in Shell's kitchen. So the hero has a responsibility to the city, yes, but they also have a life of their own. There's a person behind the mask, and that person has friends, loved ones, and people that count on them. At this moment, you find yourself in one of those moments with someone you care about, someone who knows the real you. So we will describe the scene. So I drew a club, which is you are going to be somebody connected to your family or upbringing, which is I think so. I think you're like hanging out with your mom, who was
the former Spitfire.
The former Spitfire. So I think that you're at your mom's apartment, condo, place of residence, in Shell's kitchen. And you are just enjoying like a nice hangout. Like you haven't seen her in a little while. You've been very busy with hero stuff, which she understands because that was her life too. But you have finally found just a quiet afternoon to get together and just kind of chat and have lunch and just spend some time with your mom. So that's where we're at.
Cute.
Having a good time with your mama.
Maybe sort of lamenting, oh no, I caused a fire in the Scuttle district. No, sorry, in the Pincers, and people are mad.
And she's just like, that's like, these things happen. It's that's just a natural part of being a hero, but you saved the day over at the Crab City Mall. So really proud of you there.
Yeah, it was really cool. Did you see me shoot that airship out of the sky? Did you ever do something like that?
I can't say there was ever an opportunity for me to shoot a crab-shaped airship out of the sky, but you're doing a great job. I think you just have a really nice afternoon. So for the hero, what do you take away from this meeting? How does it help to center you, and how does it help remind you why you wear the mask?
I think, hearing that her mum is proud of her despite her making just a little tiny mistake at the last crime she stopped, makes her realize that, this is a dangerous job with a lot of risks involved, and sometimes mistakes will be made, but that doesn't mean she's a failure. It just means she has to learn from them.
Oh, sweet. Now let's ruin things. that was
sad.
Yep, that was a nice little moment of happiness, and now we move on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get to ruin things right now.
You don't get to ruin anything.
And you don't even have any injuries to help.
Nope. Oh, that would have been cute if you had injuries. Your mom could have patched up your injuries.
Oh.
But it's okay. You caused collateral damage instead. It's fine. So I
figured fire powers are probably very likely to cause collateral damage.
Yeah. Well, especially in a city that's as dry as apparently the city is.
Yeah.
There's fire-based collateral damage all over the place. The world's driest seaside town, Crab City.
With a long history of fire heroes.
Yeah, a long list of fire-based heroes.
But no, so dry.
It's just so dry. So our next card is a 6 of Hearts. So we are back in danger again. The hearts being, we're back in the Scuttle district. We are back in the downtown shopping center-y area of Crab City.
They just rebuilt that.
Just rebuilt that. So I think, all right. So unlike last time when you were in the Scuttle district, I wouldn't call it a day off because superheroes don't get days off. But you're just casual exclamation point Spitfire. And you're at just your local coffee spot, which, God, I wish I had a good crab pun. Crabbuccinos.
Yep. There it
I'm
is.
sorry. I'm not though. I can't.
I love it.
I can't.
I love it.
So yep, so you're at Crabbuccino's getting a coffee.
Is that like a chain
early.
coffee shop in
Yeah,
the city?
Yes. It's in this city, and then it's in every city as as they become crab as well.
It's the first sign.
It's the first
Yeah.
sign. It's carcinization, but for cities.
Yeah.
Is you That's the first sign. That's how you know your city is becoming crab. Is that all of a sudden there is no more Starbucks, there is no more Dunkin', it's just Crabbuccino's, which is better than both of those, so you know. So you're at Crabbuccino's. It's morning, and you're just kind of, you just decide you're gonna spend the day out. Maybe like do a little shopping, like just hanging around. You don't really have anything to do. You don't have any appearances to make, so you're in this coffee shop, getting your morning coffee from your favorite barista, whose name I will tell you in a moment.
Fantasy name generator giving you some shit names, huh?
No, this is behind the name giving me shit names. James, you've betrayed me.
Sorry.
You said that these were good. Your favorite barista, Bernadette. She's just like she's a senior at Crab City U. Just always makes your coffee better than anybody else does. So you're just real happy that she's working this morning. Yes, and that's our scene. Is Spitfire just getting some morning coffee, getting a Crabbuccino.
Can I ruin it?
You can ruin it. Ruin it, James.
Ruin it.
Ruin it. You can't ruin it more than I did as soon as I said Crabbuccino. So you can try.
Okay.
Do your best.
So you are sitting there trying to enjoy your coffee in the morning. And you look out the window. And there's like a big, long main street of shops. And you can see, maybe you even like, you know what it is? It's we see like a close-up panel of your coffee sitting on the table, and then we see the surface, and it starts to like ripple a little bit, the way things do when there's like earthquakes, dinosaurs, that sort of stuff. This is none of those things, but and you look out the window. You can't
promise me dinosaurs and then take away the dinosaurs.
Like how they're not dead.
And you look on the window and you see at the far end of the street this large, it's not quite a dump truck, but it's like a large truck that has an open top, and it is just piled to the brim and above of this container with like small bait fish. Like this was a big truck that was on its way to the port yards to refill all the crabbing ships, and you can see with your really good superhero vision, and we see, because we probably like zoom in, the person who's driving this truck is just like panicked because they cannot stop, they cannot turn the wheel. The truck is just like stuck, and we can see, because we are the viewer, we're the reader of this comic or whatever, that their foot is a solid frozen block of ice, flooring this gas pedal, and they are just like weaving, trying to dodge cars. They like hit a mailbox, and mail goes flying everywhere, and they are barreling straight towards you.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll some dice.
Hell yeah.
So I rolled a 5, which means you rise to the occasion and manage to save the day. What great moment of heroism do you achieve?
Can I see the foot encased in ice?
I think you can't at first. We see it as the reader, but as you are sort of like focusing on this, you can see that that a little bit around the wheels is has frosted up a little bit, and actually there's like a couple chunks of ice in the grill of the front of this truck.
Yeah. Okay. So imagining maybe that she's currently sat outside the coffee shop, and maybe Bernadette is there, like she's paying the bill or whatever. And then you know, because you totally pay a bill in a coffee shop like you do in a restaurant. Whatever, they're chatting, and she sees this truck barreling towards them, and just sort of like instinct driving her, grabs Bernadette and flies her out of harm's way very heroically, and then sort of flies towards the truck to see what the hell is going on with this driver. Yells at him to stop, and then sees this block of ice keeping his foot slammed down on the brakes, and she just, like, while keeping up speed with the truck, like rips the door off and then sticks a hand inside onto the block of ice and starts to melt it with her cool fire powers.
Yeah.
And that means
I think-
that he can take his foot off the brake.
I think that there's like there's a moment when you touch the ice where you feel cold, which is probably something that you don't feel often because your hand, like you can be on fire a little bit. And there's like one moment where you're like, oh, that's weird. Maybe I like, but then it melts and goes away and you push past it.
Okay.
Not menacing at all. Don't worry about it.
I don't know, it's probably fine. And yeah, she
Probably
takes
fine.
her hand away, and through like the flames igniting her skin, there's maybe like little touches of sort of frost. You know, when you see it just sort of like creeping up on like the pavement or whatever before, like as it's snowing, before the snow's fully fallen, just sort of like on her fingertips, and then it fades with the flame.
I think that so I think that after that happens, after you're able to like melt a bunch of this ice, eventually he's able to get the truck under control, but not before spilling a whole bunch of fish everywhere on this street. But it does. It probably because it has to. It stops like right before it would have hit the coffee shop. Like you slow it down.
Okay.
Or he slows it down. Like he presses the brakes and.
Yeah. And I guess she'll have to question him as to what the hell happened and how his foot ended up frozen.
Yeah. I don't know that he knows. I think that he would explain that like he was on his way to like I was on my way to drop off my the bait fish for the morning, and I just like I felt this really coldness on my foot, and I looked down and it was just frozen shut, and I don't know what happened. There was no one else in the truck. I don't know. It was like magic. Ice just appeared. And I was trying to break, and I'm so glad that no one got hurt. Thank you. Thank you for saving me and everyone else.
Of course, it's my job. But she does seem a little bit troubled by this as like, you know, emergency services and all the rest of it turn up and it starts to get sorted out by the proper people. She's just kind of mulling over like, the hell is this ice thing? I don't like this.
It's weird. Yeah.
Weird.
It's probably fine.
So
it's probably fine.
It's
probably fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
Hey, Mom, did you ever fight an ice-themed villain?
She's probably like, yeah, like 12 of them. You need to be more specific, dear. I feel like that comes with the territory when you're a fire. Yeah. If you're a fire-based hero, you're gonna end up with some. So does that count? Do we add a saving person?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So let's. So I'm
probably
gonna.
The coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
Person. Okay. Who was the barista?
Bernadette.
I'm just gonna call her Bernadette Crabbuccino because I don't want to think of a last
family
name.
Business.
It's of the Crab City Crabbuccinos.
Yeah. So we've got the Crabbingtons and the Crabbuccinos. Are they like warring families in the city?
No, they know how to stay in their lane.
Yeah.
They stay in their lanes because crabs can only move side to side.
Is there like a rival lobster city?
They can't cross lanes this way. They only can move in one direction.
It's just the worst.
Because they're crabs, you see.
Yeah.
This was a mistake. We shouldn't have come.
Come here to.
I'm having the best time.
This is perfect. All right, so I put that over in your pile of good people that you've helped. All right, and our next card is a 7 of diamonds. which
We're going
is
to the
you are
Old
in your
Bay.
element. This is your neighborhood and these are your people. You've got this. So we are in the Old Bay. We are in Spitfire's neighborhood. This is where the main superhero team of Crab City assembles. This is probably like the oldest section of the city as well, and the city's kind of like sprawled out as everything else becomes Crab inevitably. So you've got some of like the older parts of the city, and this is also where you live. This is the Old Bay. But somebody is in danger here, and that's not great. So I think that this is at, oh god, I'm trying to think of a crap pun for like the location where all of you the superhero headquarters, but I can't think of something, so I'm gonna put a pin in that and just be like, so the Fortress of Solitude with the serial numbers scraped off, legally distinct Fortress of Solitude,
The
in Crab City.
sandcastle someone suggested in the chat.
Yes, the sand, the crab
The
bucket.
crab tank.
Like no, the sandcastle. We're going with the sandcastle. It's a beautiful old sandstone building that probably at one point had like a nicer, fancier name, and everyone just calls it the sandcastle. Because Crab City is ageless and eternal, and things are bound to change as the years go on. There's just if I can do anything, it's justify shit posts.
It's a real,
so you're at the
talent.
Thank you. It's been cultivated over many years of ceaseless shit posting. So you're at the sandcastle with some of your other superhero cohorts, and you are getting ready to kind of go, like, it's like your shift to go kind of like patrol the city and like make your presence known type of thing. And I feel like you do that more often than some of the other heroes, because you are one of the younger heroes as a member of this group, having recently taken over for your mom, but then also like Spitfire is like the public face kind of superheroes of Crab City. So you are the one that does a lot of time out in the city. Things like that. So you are just kind of like walking out the front door of the sandcastle. There are people milling about. I feel like this is an area that's kind of almost sort of like the mall in DC. Like there's like a big green, like grassy area like in front of the sandcastle, and there are like older buildings. Like there's some like museums and things like that. Like this is a nicer
Museums
area. There's a
of the superhero team.
Yes,
like
yes,
displaying old costumes.
Exactly.
And
it's just like all the old costumes, like comic book covers, like all of that stuff. Like this is like hero central. There's like a really nice park. So there are tourists that come from other towns, but then like college kids come and just like hang out in the park and things like that. But you're walking out the front door, and it's just like this beautiful day. Like the weather is perfect, the sun is shining, and James is going to ruin it.
Hell yeah.
Because it is this beautiful shining day, and you are stepping outside with some of the other heroes, and there's like you hear like a tick 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 tick, and you feel something, like you start to feel things hit your shoulders and your head as like the sky starts to darken and it starts to hail. And like these little beads of water ice just keep falling from the sky, and you look around because this storm has just come out of nowhere. And and you look up and it's this weird, dark, like almost purpley blue roiling clouds. And as it rolls over the city, it starts to pour down these they're very small, fine hail that almost cuts when it hits, and it's just like pouring sheets of ice. And as you're looking around, this like nice green open area where there are people picnicking is like starting to ice over, and some of the statues of and stuff of the old costumes are like they're frosting over as more and more hail falls. And there were all of these people who are just hanging out here, and there isn't a lot of cover. um um and it and like the weird part about it again is that the hail is cold, and it hits you, and it doesn't melt immediately like it would should. It doesn't like steam, and it like hits and bounces off and then freezes on the ground in a weird way that you're unaccustomed to. And if you don't do something to help these people, like I think you even see like there's a couple who are picnicking, and they're scrambling to get stuff up off the ground, but even as they're doing that, they themselves are starting to freeze and be covered by ice.
Oh no.
And
Are
so
they
now
like encased in ice, or are they themselves frozen?
encased in ice, as as the hail is almost like building up around them, like it's sticking to them and freezing them.
Okay.
And so I'm going to roll some dice. But the good thing here is we're in your your color. It's an exact match, right? I forget where we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the Old Bay. So
yeah.
yes,
So it's your
3
color
dice.
and your number. So you're going to roll 3 dice. Or I'm going to roll 3 dice, which is good. And I have rolled a 5. So it's the same as last time. You rise to the occasion and you manage to save the day. What great moment of heroism do you achieve? How do you stop this hailstorm?
Well, first of all, I think this superhero team needs to have a legally distinct Aquaman type character who's like, but in Crab City, he's kind of useful. And so I think that's
even
the hero that she's, even though it's very dry, I think that's the hero that she's outside with, and he's maybe like one of the slightly more of the old guard of the current group kind of thing. So I think immediately she just sort of like snaps into sort of leadership mode, and is like, we need to get people inside before they freeze, and then I'm going to try and stop this ice. And so I think he like commands an army of crabs that he can speak to telepathically to sort of like shepherd all the people who aren't frozen yet into the sandcastle and the museum, so they're not getting hailed on. And then I think she sort of like flies up into the sky, and like before in the Scuttle district, when she created that wall of fire to sort of prevent the enemies from getting to people, I think she tries to create one, but sort of as like a roof to stop the hail from falling and to try and melt the hail before it reaches the ground.
I like it a lot.
Is a thank you for the image of just a bunch of crabs hurting people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to. I was like, if there's an Aquaman equivalent in this town, he has to just have the ability to telepathically speak to crabs.
Yep. And everyone knows Crab City has more crabs per capita than any other city in the world. It's like
for now.
Like New York City has pigeons. Like in Futurama, there's owls. In Crab City, it's just they're just crabs everywhere, just scuttling along the road.
There's so many "Don't feed the crab" signs.
Yeah, don't feed, which makes no sense because they need water to live, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's just like in Crab City, you just see crabs sort of scuttling around on the street.
Yeah.
Like pigeons.
Yep. It's like, oh God. Like the tourists, they're like, oh, look at the crabs. And like the Crab Cityans are just like, do not touch the crabs. They are so dirty. Scuttling rats. Like they're just everywhere.
The city is such a disaster and I love it.
It's so prone to like being lit on fire.
There's
just
so
the
much
most
fire.
unfortunate way.
Yeah.
Flaming
just
crabs.
everywhere you turn. there's fire.
Crabs and fire.
Fire and crabs.
Fire and crabs. It's not a great place to live, but the people who live there are very protective over it. They're like, no, nobody insults my city. I live in the best damn city in the world.
Yeah, it's like how Londoners can complain about London, but you can't insult London to a Londoner.
No. So let's say, is there... All right. So I think
you do save someone.
So you do save someone. So who has been saved?
I think as long as it says you don't save someone, you do save someone.
Oh, okay, cool. So you have, let's see, who have you saved? You have saved a person who has a name. I think
maybe the picnickers.
Yeah, I was like, I think one of the picnickers that had like fully frozen, you thaw her out, and her name is Olivia Beck, and she is just so happy that you have saved her, and then she was ushered into a safe spot by a herd of crabs after you saved her.
The crabs have names and personalities. They're individuals.
Of course they do. And Diet Aquaman tries to like tell everybody all the time. He's like, this is how I tell them all apart.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, please stop telling us about the crabs.
But this is Crab City. You should care about the crabs.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do one more before we go to break. And then we will come back and the really bad stuff's going to start popping off. So here we go.
Hell yeah.
We're pretty excited. It's pretty exciting stuff. So our last card before break is the 3 of Clubs.
Ooh.
So we're going back to Shell's kitchen. Things are happening there. So hi Jeff, we're ruining your game with crab memes.
Oh no.
Yep, so we're in Shell's kitchen, which you are out of your element here in Shell's kitchen. But we're doing.
But it's where my mom lives.
Yeah.
It's where your mom.
That's where my mom lives.
But you don't live there. You live.
It's always felt like her part of the city.
Yeah, like that's where. Yeah, like.
Well, obviously, before we would have lived in the Old Bay because.
Yes, you would have lived in the Old Bay.
She would have been superheroing, and then she moved here when she retired, and I stayed in the Old Bay.
Yes. Yeah, she retired to Shell's kitchen.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Like you do. That's everybody dreams of retiring to Shell's kitchen, but only a few can actually pull it off. So what is going on here? So yeah, so Shell's kitchen is it's a nicer area of town. It's a little businessy, but also residential. And you are you're actually on your way home from visiting your mom. You just like stopped in just to like say hi, see how she's doing. She's doing great. And as you're walking home, or walking at least away out of Shell's kitchen, you hear like some yelling and a cacophony of weird sounds coming from like down the road, and you can see like somebody's running out of like a side street, and just like, and it's like, they're stealing the truck.
She's like, another truck.
Yeah. There could be anything in this truck. It doesn't have to be fish. But James will tell us what the truck is.
And also who and what is stealing it.
Yes.
So because I wrote, boy, did I write a thing down here, and I'm gonna stick to it. So you you turn around to see this person running, yelling about the truck, and kind of in this like slow plodding gait, coming around the corner from behind this building is this like 15 to 30 foot tall penguin robot. And it has its two big flippers, and it has a truck tucked under one of the flippers. I think it's probably like it's like a bank truck. It's like one that's going to deliver money to the bank. So it's full of cash, and you can almost see like bills falling out of the back of the truck. And this enormous, it's like this, it's kind of a big weird. It waddles weirdly because it has short robot legs, and its head kind of spins around every once in a while. Like when it gets too close to a building, its head spins to one side and opens its little beak and breathes like ice blasts, and it like frosts over a sign at the top of it says like it's a welcome to Crab City. You're in Shell's kitchen. The sign, like like the Shellery is a local like something other food establishment. And this giant robot penguin is just like waddling down the street. I think it probably turns away from you, heading or well, it turns towards the bay, like it might be going for the water, with just this one big truck tucked under its arm. I'm so sorry. But I'm not sorry.
This is fantastic. Thank you. Also, I hope you know that because you made it a robot, now I want to be its friend, which is a problem.
Oh no.
I would like to see the baby.
So
yeah, sorry.
You have to roll dice.
Now is roll the dice. Yes.
You have
so we are.
You have a die.
It's one die. Okay.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh no. I'm in danger.
It is a 3.
Okay. Not too
so you
bad.
managed to stop the threat, but it's messy.
Okay.
How do you stop this giant robot? What goes wrong along the way? And then either you're going to be injured or cause collateral damage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did collateral damage last time, so I think this time I should take an injury. For dramatic effect.
You're gonna get pin slapped.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was imagining. I think as she sees this robot heading towards the bay, she's gonna try and, she fires up. She flies around to try and get in front of it, to try and sort of like do the thing she did before with the ship, where she just like slammed right through it and melted through it. But I think as she's kind of like rounding to do that, the penguin robot just smacks her down into the ground.
The whole top half of its robot bot, like if its robot penguin body spins, and the one fin that's not holding it in just like bops you.
Nice. Yeah, and she like slams into the ground. There's this sort of like burnt crater where she lands, and she's like scraped and bruised and all the rest of it, but she just like shakes it off and then tries to do the same thing again, but from the back, and this time I guess slams right into it and tries to just like melt through it and pull out some wiring and stuff to try and deactivate the robot.
It has inside of it, it's the typical like electronic wiring that you would expect for a robot, but it also has these like pipes that are like pumping this like cold blue like freezing liquid. So you pull it out and it kind of like shoots a spurt of frozen. It's the same stuff that it's like breathing out its mouth. And so you almost get hit by one of those blasts, or maybe you do get hit by one of those
I think
blasts.
because I'm saying I'm getting injured, so I think maybe she does get hit, maybe like on one of her arms or something. What happens?
Yeah, and it starts to like tint blue a little bit, like it's very cold.
Okay. I think maybe because of that, like one of her hands is still on fire, the rest of her body is still on fire, as is normal. But this one arm, for now, she just can't get it to light up and can't get it to move properly. So she has to kind of bludgeon her way through stopping this robot with like her remaining working arm, and just like shoots a beam of fire directly into the inside of the robot now that she's sort of ripped this thing off and opened it, and it maybe slowly just kind of seizes up and stops moving where it is, still holding the truck, just kind of like frozen, haha, in place. So she manages to stop it, but this one arm remains frozen over for a little while, maybe.
So I will mark down that you have this injury.
Do you think it lasts after the battle, or do you think it sort of wears off a bit? Maybe the arm is still a bit stiff afterwards, but it wears off. What do you think?
Yeah, like it'll hang with you a little bit because mechanically you're gonna roll, I think, one fewer die because of it. And so I think it takes you a little while, even if it's just like maybe it's a mental thing. Like you can still feel that, like the memory of the cold.
Yeah.
All right. So then you also save someone because it didn't say you didn't.
Or I guess, yeah, there were plenty of people to be saved. There was certainly someone in the bank.
Yeah, I was thinking the driver of the truck.
Yeah, was there a driver in the truck? Who she then pulls out of the truck once the robot stops.
Yeah. And
saved a lot of truck drivers.
Yeah, we saved a lot of truck drivers. Hey,
Crab City of our society.
Yeah, it's like Crab City only runs as well as it does because of our truck drivers. Truck drivers keep Crab City rolling.
Or scuttling.
Yeah. So the truck driver's name was Ray Nathans.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he was in the truck. So yeah, so where we're at now, we are staring down the barrel of a downfall, which is very exciting. But we are going to take a short little break in just a moment. Thank you all. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. So we're going to take a short break, probably like 5-10 minutes. So in the meantime, everybody go hydrate, get some water, stretch your legs, do whatever you got to do, and meet us back here in no more than 10 minutes. Meet us back in Crab City, and we'll just have like a little downfall as a treat.
Just a littler downfall.
Just a little downfall as a treat. So, all right. Bye, guys. Hello, and welcome back to Crab City, where everything is really dry despite being on the water, and there are crabs everywhere.
Crab City,
But
the home of the fire-themed superhero.
the fire and the penguin-themed supervillains. Welcome to Crab City. So up until this point, we've been doing some great things. Our wonderful superhero Spitfire has been doing her hero thing. But now it is time for our villain to finally reveal themselves. Ha 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 ha.
It's an even
very
bigger
exciting.
robot penguin.
It's just Matryoshkas. Like that penguin opens up and there's a smaller robot penguin and then a smaller robot penguin and then a smaller robot penguin. And then a person who's a penguin, like from NGE. So our next card is the Joker, which is our downfall. It is here that the hero is confronted at last by the villain, who makes themselves known by striking deep at the heart of the hero. There's a battle that happens, lives are lost, destruction spreads, and hero, you are beaten back for now. You'll come back, heroes always do, but this is your downfall. Bum, bum, bum.
Spitfire never fails.
Except for this one time where she does. So the downfall has two parts. So the first part is consequences. So this is the moment where it all comes undone and the villain triumphs. How does it all happen? So let me see. Do we answer the questions before we set the scene? We do it in order? Yeah.
Yeah, just go down the line.
Yeah. So, hero, answer the following questions. What piece of yourself most scares you? How do you see that amplified in the villain? And what weakness are you afraid will be discovered? And how does the villain use it?
Oh my god, that's so many questions. I think given the collateral damage incidents before, I think her fear about her powers is sort of losing control of them and accidentally hurting other people. And sorry, you're totally gonna have to repeat those questions because I've already forgotten the rest of them.
No worries. Yeah, so it's what piece of yourself most scares you, so you got that.
Yeah.
How do you see that amplified in the villain?
Well, we don't really know who the villain is yet.
But I mean, if you're afraid of causing collateral damage, like maybe the villain clearly does not care.
Yeah. like whoever this person's this person is, like, just their complete willingness to disregard other people's safety and
that works.
Yeah.
And then what weakness are you afraid will be discovered? And how does the villain use it? Deep fear of penguins.
Deep-seated fear of penguins and crabs.
You are in the wrong city.
She's in the wrong city.
Nobody.
What weakness are you afraid they'll discover? Is that what the question is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess a way to negate her powers, because she's been seeing all this ice-related shenanigans.
And how does the villain use that?
With his ice-related powers. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry to keep it simple, but I mean, it's all there. It lines up.
Straight up and down, they've got a ice-breathing penguin robot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it literally stopped her from being able to use her power when she got her arm frozen. So, yeah.
Yep. All right.
So
So the
now,
city.
city.
Yeah, I get to answer some questions. So, what part of the hero most scares you? How is the villain the worst version of that? Um, of course, I was thinking the same thing that is that I think that it's that Spitfire is so powerful,
Mm.
and sometimes she has control of her powers, but there are a lot of times that there's a lot of like fire is not something that you can ever truly control, no matter how much control you have over your powers. Like fire is something that's very wild and unruly that you can't control. So I think that the nature of her powers and the just like the destructive nature that her powers can have
Mm.
are very frightening for this very dry city.
Understandable.
um and I think the villain, all right, how is the villain the worst version of that? I think that whereas Spitfire has like these powers that can have very destructive properties, but she strives to control them and make sure that they are only used for good. The villain has powers that have a very destructive quality as well, but there is no attempt to mitigate any damage done. So it's just pure destructive force applied to this city that is um, real scary for me, the residents of the city.
Hmm.
Um, and then, what is your biggest fear for the city, and how does the villain embody it? I think the biggest fear that the city has is this city. This is a city that's very old. Um, it's seen a lot. It's been here for a very long time, and there's a lot of new growth in the city, but there's a lot of history, um, and the fear is that the the historical parts of the city, like where most of this history is stored, and like the places in the city that like really tell the story of what has happened here, will be destroyed, and there won't be a way to there isn't you can't like truly replicate that kind of thing. um so like the city is afraid of like losing pieces of itself that have been here um the longest, and the villain embodies that because they have a complete disregard for what is here. They flew a giant wooden crab airship over a part of the city that could have crashed and destroyed a bunch of stuff. They rained down like all of this like really dangerous hail over the historic districts of the city and destroyed um like or damaged some of like the older buildings and exhibits and things that were there. So they just don't have a respect for the city's history. They just want to mess stuff up, and that's scary for me, the city.
Fair.
Hmm.
So the villain,
Yes.
bum, bum, bum. Yeah, what power do you crave, and how are you going to seize it?
Hmm. I I crave. What power do I crave, and what am I going to do to seize it? I I crave the way that all of the city's residents look to Spitfire, and like I and their power as a public figure, and a role model. Like, I think my villain wants people to look to him that way, as like in that wonder and awe of, here is a powerful person who can protect me, and I should try to emulate and think warmly towards or whatever. And how am I going to seize that? Well, I'm going to show them how powerful I am, and how unpowerful Spitfire is.
Uh-oh.
What insurmountable odds will the hero have to overcome to defeat you?
What unsurmountable odds? My powers as a villain are widespread and encompassing of everything in the city. And if Spitfire is going to try to defeat me, then she'll have to find a way to like overcome the cold that quenches her fire.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's cool.
And what hidden weakness do you hope the hero never finds?
The hidden weakness that I hope the hero never finds. I hope the hero never finds that my power comes from not from a heroic hereditary line or from any kind of like deep culture or tradition, but from a powerful magical item that I found and now wield. And so whereas Spitfire's power is sort of has history and weight to it, my power is powerful but thin.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right. Finally, introduce yourself in all your terrible glory to the other players.
Yes.
Describe your powers, equal in measure to the hero, they're perhaps not identical. Describe your grand plans and describe how, when the battle comes to you, you overpower the hero.
Okay. So, it's another murky kind of day. The normally like it's unusual weather for Crab City. There are days where it rains, but then it kind of gets the rain out of the way, and it's usually bright sunny days, and it has been just like murky and overcast and like cold, like not hail but cold rain for a long time. And everyone is kind of like really just nervous. Like it feels weird. It feels like something bad is coming, and something bad is coming. And let's see, where's a very public place that my villain could make an address? Maybe the city. You have a place that I could
I mean, there's probably like City Hall is probably up in the Old Bay. The Sand Castle is there too.
Yeah, there's also the
yeah
Sandcastle.
okay yeah
Sandcastle.
so it has to be Sandcastle. So it's this place of power in the heart of the historic districts of Crab City, the seat of power of the heroes. And there's like this like a let's see what happens again. There's a we see this crab scuttling sideways, and moving around the streets. We see a series of panels, as this crab like moves around through, like it dodges some cars, dodges some rain that's starting to fall, scuttles up the side of the sandcastle, and to its top, and scuttles around, and is crushed by, or is not crushed but encompassed in ice in this like sudden blast. And we pull back from that panel, stepping back, and we see this. It looks like he's human sized, and he is a like a rock hopper penguin. So it's like the sort of roundish body, with like the sort of elongated beak and the like macaroni kind of plumage coming out of his head, and there's like a cold, like burning red hate in his eyes, and he has, instead of flippers, he has human arms, and he's holding this like staff that is a trident, but instead of being like a trident, it's like one of those small forks you use for eating crabs and lobsters. And it has like different kinds of like silver worked in it, up and around, and it looks like there's like a crab at the bottom on the sort of flat end, and towards the top there are three prongs, um and at the top it is like the very tips of it, the prong are glowing this like cold blue light. And he steps in front of this like frozen crab, kicks it off of the side of the building, and it tinkers onto the ground. He kind of like spins the staff a little bit, and it like flamethrowers out this cold blast. And I think that he even like, so he freezes like in this like one broad stroke, freezes the street and some of the buildings around, and like slams the staff into the ground, and it plumes this cold magic up into the air, where it like turns all of the clouds this like dark bluish frost color, and it starts to do the cold hail again, and buildings are like, um being covered in ice. And he calls out to the people inside the sandcastle, the heroes of the city, um, and he says, "I am the Penguizard, and this is my city now. You heroes of this city, you crab folk, salt people, you have lived in this city, you've had your time, but your time is over, and my time, the time of cold, the time of penguins, the time of birds has come, and you will." There is nothing that you can do to stop me, for even your strongest heroes, um their powers are weakened. Yes, this is no longer Crab City. This is Penguin City. Um, and else am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to say, his power
Um,
is that he just like he wields cold
mhm,
magic. He creates the frost that hurt Spitfire's arm.
mhm.
And as he is sort of like walking around taunting people, monologuing about how his plan is to take back the city from the crabs, to liberate other cities from becoming crabs. He is coating all of the buildings in ice. And I think there's a moment then when, I'm supposed to describe how when the battle comes to me, I overpower the hero. And so there's a moment where Spitfire shows up to fight, and he he gestures around at all of these buildings that are coated in ice. Like they all still function as buildings, doors still open, but they're all frosted shut, and they're kind of cold to the touch. And he just says, "Spitfire, you're here. I've coated the city in ice. Um, your powers are heat. Just melt the ice. Certainly, you can control your powers well enough that you can melt the ice without burning the buildings and people inside. I'm sure that you have that prowess, uh, and you could defeat me easily. And if you can't, you can leave, and this will be my city forever." Um, and
Yeah,
I think that
Spitfire.
yeah, do you have anything to say to that? I guess.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she just fucking goes for him instantly, just like flames up and just shoots herself at him to try
Yeah.
and fight him.
And I think that he just like spins this staff around, this trident, and shoots the cold blast at you. And kind of the way that your one arm has sort of lost the ability to flame on, the rest of your fire is put out, and for at least this moment you can't summon that flame to you.
Mm.
and and so we might scuffle a little bit more, and but without that flame, that power, he
Yeah.
defeats you and claims
Yeah.
the city
I
as
think
his.
I think she's left like temporarily without her powers and humiliated and injured and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds flame off.
It's rough to lose to the Penguin Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is Penguin City now.
This is Penguin City now. Cut to the middle issue of the comic where it's all the little penguin henchmen like taping over "Welcome to Crab City" with signs that say Penguin City.
Absolutely, yeah.
First order of business. Yeah, so now we move to contemplation, as Spitfire has been snuffed out, as it were. So the world is still reeling from battle. These scars will change the landscape of the city forever. And we take a moment the city will take a moment to mourn its losses. The hero will take a moment to deal with your failure. And the villain will let the city and the hero have their moment while they replace all of the Crab City signs with Penguin City signs. That takes time.
There's important processes to go through here.
Yes.
We have to retheme a lot of the houses to look like igloos.
Come up with new penguin puns for all the restaurants.
Yep. Rename all the districts so that they're penguin appropriate. You know, like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So
Pengspresso.
So I, as the city, will take the remaining Joker, and it represents the hero's uprising. Your decision to come back and move forward and make it right and rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them why you need them and why you believe in them. So there always needs to be a Spitfire in Crab City. Crab City needs Spitfire, and we need you to defend us and take your city back, because we are not Penguin City. We are Crab City. And this will not stand. There has always been a Spitfire here. Spitfires have been a defender of Crab City for generations, and you have only recently taken up this mantle, but we believe in you. And we know that you will be able to get the power to defeat the Penguizard. So the hero, when you're ready, I will do that because I have the cards. I will shuffle the Uprising back in, the other Joker back into the deck. Thank the city. Promise them you won't let them down, because I can promise you this time you won't. So yeah. So like maybe give us like a panel or two of what this looks like post this. Like, what does Spitfire do after this defeat? Like, where does she go? What does she do?
I think for a short time she chooses to leave the sandcastle and goes to stay in Shell's kitchen with her mum. Because if she can't use her powers, she feels like she's useless and doesn't need to be there taking up space. And I think through further conversations with her mum, who is the previous Spitfire, she and both conversations, and I think maybe we also get a little training montage of her sort of reigniting her powers, and sort of practicing specifically to take down Penguizard. And through those conversations and that training, realizes that actually she has the ideal power set to take the Penguizard down, and that she just needs to make her fire burn brighter and hotter so that he can't snuff it out. And if she has the city's backing as well, then that's just like even more reason. Like you say, we are not Penguin City, we are Crab City, and Spitfire will defend Crab City. So yeah, I think she spends like a few days sort of training and honing and sort of deliberately trying to make that fire as like hot and unsnuff outable as possible before she returns to the old bay, sort of flying through the air, completely ablaze. And now, fun fact, when flames are blue, it means they are hotter, right? So I think now her flames have this like tinge of blue going through them as she's sort of floating there with this fire wreathing off her. So has Penguizard sort of taken up residence somewhere? Like, has he taken over the sandcastle or something for his own?
And it's not Old Bay anymore. It's Cold Bay.
Oh God. I think she does a similar thing because she's a bit of a show off. She does a similar thing to what Penguizard did, and she flies into Cold Bay, and just floats opposite the sandcastle with her sort of new and improved flames, and just calls out to him. It's like, Penguizard, your reign's up. I'm here to take you down.
But not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Cold Bay. Oh my God. All right. So now we return to a city taken over by the Penguizard, and Spitfire back to helping people as she gets ready to confront the Penguizard another time. So we have a King of Hearts, which is somewhere protected. There are places in the city that ordinary people will never go, places far removed from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. These are the halls of the rich and powerful, those with money and influence to change the world and who choose not to. These people are not your friend. Here, the hero is confronted by somebody in a position of power, someone cold and corrupt, but untouchable, at least for now. This person will do everything they can to interfere with the hero's plans and hold them back from helping people in need until the hero can find a way to stop them. So, this is... Dun, 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 dun.
What was the suit again?
See. Hearts.
Okay.
So, someone well-respected with great personal acclaim.
Yeah, but just tell me where we are, and I will...
Heart. So we are in the Scuttle District. Unless this is... let's see, what do penguins do? They kind of scuttle. What do they do? They like waddle. This is the Waddle District now.
Yep.
Waddle District. So yes.
Yeah, so where is this place of opulence?
Yeah, so I think that this is like this is a really nice hotel. Like, but it's like one of those hotels, like it's a hotel, but then super rich people live there because they can, because what is money? So I think that the scene is the hero, as you're trying to reclaim Crab City from the Penguizard, you're trying to seek out people that might be able to help overthrow Penguizard. So you're kind of trying all of your options. So you go to this hotel, which is the Ritz-Carlton Crab City. Listen,
Ritz Crabton.
The Ritz Jesus Christ. The Ritz Crabton Crab City. It is
Owned by the
I need
Crabton
to,
family.
Yeah.
yeah, I need to be stopped. And you're going to visit the heir to the Crabton hotels, whose name is Bree Crabton. So you have secured a meeting with Miss Crabton, who lives in the penthouse of the Ritz Crabton hotel. So you are just making your way to meet her, and you assumed that this would be somebody that you could ask for help. Like they're very wealthy. Obviously, they own a bunch of hotels, but they're known for being like a great philanthropist and uh just like a well-known person in Crab City for like doing good, or at least appearing to do a lot of good, like a lot of philanthropy and stuff like that. But you know,
Not for
there are
me.
no good billionaires.
No.
Obviously.
um so that's our scene.
So I described the person who lives here. We've done sort of.
Oh no, whoops.
That's
I'm
fine.
stealing your thunder.
No, it's good though. It's good. I like Bree Crabton, and the corrupt deeds they've done to attract your attention. Um,
I kind of flipped that.
it's all good though. I like it because, um, hmm. So I think yeah, you've heard that she's been very active recently in like moving around and spending money, and I think maybe you're coming to say, hey, like, can you help spend money to like save the city?
Mm.
um, and when you come to her penthouse, she's kind of all like bundled up in like designer cold wear, and is not seeming like she's having a bad time. Like all these buildings are frosted over even on the inside. And but like she's making use of the fact that she can like keep colder drinks on her mobile bar cart or whatever, and like um she's talking to, like, when you enter, she's even talking to like the manager of this hotel about how great it is because like they haven't had to, like, the heating bills or the air conditioning bills been down, and like they haven't had to spend as much money, and like everyone assumes that it's like because the Peng Wizard is here, and like so everywhere is cold, so like they don't have to put that much money into heating the building either, because everyone, like, no one's assuming that they're gonna, like, it's the Peng Wizard's magic that's making this cold, not the fact that she's like turned the heat off. um and and do we want to actually like play out this scene, or do we want to just like talk about?
So I'm wondering what exactly Spitfire could be asking for. Um, if we're asking her to use her money to help the
Yeah,
city, to help take
just
down.
or yeah, resource her money and or resources. It's like
And I
you're
think that
not
she,
you're not Pengington, you're
yeah,
Crabbington, you're
but
Crabton.
but you don't understand. I'm making more money than ever now. I've started to dabble, like my family has started to dabble in the crabbing industry, and the ships bring in the crabs, and the crabs stay cold longer. They stay fresher because of the cold facilities they're stored in, and it's cheaper to keep those facilities cooler. And so we're making even more money than we ever did before, and I can help people with that money. Why would we want to change the city back? Why would I want to defreeze the city? This is like,
God. This woman's terrible.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just think about how warm and awful and dry the city was. Do these like, she like
It was so
touches one of
dry.
the frozen walls, like, would this wall burn? Like, this is these the buildings are stronger, like nothing can harm them. No one can light them on fire. No one can, like, we're safer now than we've ever been.
Under the iron fist of a self-proclaimed supervillain who doesn't actually care about the city or the people in it. He just wants notoriety.
She kind of gestures around at this like opulent room you're in, and she says, "Life doesn't look so bad to me."
To you, maybe because you were already filthy rich when this thing began, but you are living in a gilded cage, basically. And I'm just asking you to have some common decency and use all this wealth you've acquired from the Peng Wizard's effects on the city to do some good. We need him gone.
You need him gone. I don't.
I'm pretty sure most of the people in this city who aren't you need him gone as well. Do you think life is this good for normal people under these circumstances?
There's no reason it couldn't be.
People are, freezing to death in their own homes. That's just fine, is it?
They could come and live in the hotel. It's not that cold.
Look, he's got these weird robot things. I was hoping you could put some money towards a group who think they could develop some machinery that could dismantle them.
Fair point. Giant robots are scarier than a little ice. I'll think about
And they
it
go
and look
around
into.
smashing things and people, you know.
Well, that's what you're here for, to stop them, if you can.
That is what I intend to do. But, in this kind of situation, I think everyone with power should do something to help. And you have a lot of it because of your money.
And I'm helping in my own way.
You're helping yourself right now.
Well, you have to help yourself first to help others.
She just gives her like such a disgusted look. Look, are you going to help or not? Because otherwise I have other people I can go and see.
Let me make this clear. I think that the city is for the better. I think that we were holding on to too many old things and old heroes, and it's time to move forward in Penguin City.
Okay, this was pointless then. She just gets up and leaves. Through the window, like she just flies out.
Okay.
It's
So you have
Crazy.
an enemy now. So
You do.
from now on, this was what? This was hearts.
Yes.
So whenever we draw a hearts card and come to the Waddle District, Bree Crabton will be there, trying
Being
to foil whatever you do.
Being a bitch. Of course, there's very few cards left. So, okay. Our next card, which is our last card before our hero's uprising, is the Ace of Hearts.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Which is somewhere private. Perhaps this is a quiet meeting in a secluded city park. Perhaps this is a secluded parking garage where you've agreed to meet under the cover of nightfall. Here, the hero meets someone with inside information on people in power and gets an inside look at what makes them tick. This, hero, is where you learn how you can win. This is where you learn how to stop them.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is the perfect card to pull before our showdown.
Yeah.
So city, it's me. Introduce a trusted confidant of the hero and describe where the hero meets them. This should be someone well connected to people in power and eager to make the world a better place. All right. And if the king of the same suit has been played, which it has been, the confidant knows a secret that could topple the powerful. In addition to playing out the scene, reveal the enemy's weakness to the hero. Hmm. Who who would be close to this penguin?
Hmm. Is it someone who's close to the penguin?
Or is it someone that's close to Crabton? Could be somebody close to Crabton.
Maybe Crabton is
Ooh,
actually working with Peng Wizard.
yeah.
So it
I mean,
connects. It all
that
connects.
seems, yes. Oh, you know who? All right. 1 minute. I gotta go to my random name generator. Stand by. Oh, here we go. That's fine. So you receive a message, like an email or something that asks you to meet that to meet at Old Bay Park
Cold.
at nope, this message says Old Bay. To meet in Old Bay Park at midnight. Um, so let me see. Yeah. So when you go to Old Bay, despite all of the signs have had C's put on the front of them, so that all
Crap.
says, yeah, that all says Cold Bay. And waiting for you in like, because this is a comic book, this is so it's definitely wearing like, I mean, like it's cold, but they're wearing like your standard like trench coat, fedora, like covert informant garb, as is necessary in a comic book scenario. Um, and this contact introduces herself as Charlotte Crabton, the younger sister of Bree Crabton. And she hates that it's cold now and that her sister's a bitch and wants to help.
Good for her.
Wants to help depose the Peng Wizard.
There
and
is one
also
good billionaire.
At least in Crab City there is. Just one. And that number does not change no matter how many cities Crab City takes over. There's only one. It's like Highlander. There can only be one good billionaire.
Yeah.
And
So what is
Charlotte
Bree Crabton's?
I think I'm going to massage this because that's what I do when I play games. I don't believe in rules. Charlotte tells you that the Peng Wizard only has the powers that they have because of their magic crab fork. And if you can get the magic crab fork away from the Peng Wizard, the Peng Wizard no longer has power. And if the Peng Wizard no longer has power, then her bitch older sister also no longer, well, has less power. Still has a lot of money, but all of the Peng Wizard's power comes from the magic crab fork. So that is what, if you can get that away, then you will win in a fight against him.
Excellent.
Let's see what else.
So in this moment of quiet and privacy, you have time to recover from your wounds. So I strike out one active injury you have. So your arm and I guess the rest of your body can now make flame again.
Hell yeah.
And reassured with this knowledge. So I'm also say using this knowledge of who the enemy is, describe to the hero their weakness. Yeah. So in this moment of the Peng Wizard taking over, Bree Crabton like took advantage of the fact that her family was kind of in chaos with this around the city and stepped up to side with the Peng Wizard. But in doing that, she kind of like shunned the rest of her family. And so her power is also pretty thin, and without the Peng Wizard there, she won't have her family to back her up because she burned a couple of those bridges.
Yeah.
Freezer
and
burned.
so yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
And so I think that you can describe to the hero their weaknesses, the one thing that can bring them down, put an end. I think that if you put an end to the harm that they've been causing to the city. So I think that um if you let her know that you know that the power is weak and that you know how to defeat the Peng Wizard, uh,
Mm.
she'll run instead of she can't fight.
Okay.
Awesome. And hero, describe how you bring down your enemy and remove this person from their place of power. So I think we could probably roll this right into the uprising, which
Yeah.
is what was coming next.
Okay.
Um
I
so
still have a point of inspiration I haven't used. I guess it's the only time I can use it now. I don't know what it actually does though.
Yeah, it'll be the next time we would roll dice, which I don't know that
Okay.
it'll actually
which I
happen.
don't think
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we
Fine.
because we
roll.
were playing with a
You hang on to it.
a shortened desk or
Mm.
deck because of our time constraint. But the uprising,
Okay.
it has all led to this. The hero is back in the villain's place of power, having refused to stand down and accept defeat. Their losses hang heavy in the air, but it's time to finish this. The downfall is over, and it's time for the uprising.
Hell yeah. I think this is where we flash forward
Yeah.
to the scene I described before of
Yes.
Yeah,
Spitfire
showing
flying
back up.
Yeah.
into Old
Um,
Bay with this like a blaze but with streaks of blue going through the flames and calling out to Peng Wizard to come and face
Yeah,
her.
so
Perfect.
I will describe my place of power. Um so I think it's this is it's the sandcastle, but now it's all frozen over. Um and like it's got like these huge think of like what's the Superman's Fortress of Solitude, where it's like just like these like huge crystals of ice.
Mm.
And so I think people don't, it's not the sandcastle anymore, it's the icicle. And these that there are like other like penguin associates and people wearing penguin masks that sort of run around and help him. But he is doing so he has like a huge throne in there, and a big table that has like a frost like icicle map of the city in miniature that he like looks over. And I think that he can even like cast the magic on the miniature, and then it like happens in the city for real, and that's how he keeps it all frozen constantly.
Mm.
um and so he like there was a like a big window. It was a big bay window that you used to have to look out over the city to like watch people and make sure that there weren't people who needed help, and he has blown that window out, and there's this like thrust of ice out, and it's become this like balcony that he can walk out over and like yell down at people and cackle menacingly and describe his people plans and stuff like that, super villain stuff. um
Hashtag just supervillain stuff.
yeah, and I think that he is in the middle of having a meeting with Bree Crabton and other members of like up high society and politicians in Penguin City. And they're trying to like seal the final deal. Like I think he's trying to like buy the city or something like that, like something ridiculous. um like he's trying to get them to make him like officially the mayor, so that he's in charge.
For life.
It's the
You're gonna have to
last
talk to
piece of
Gordon
like
Crabbington about that.
yeah. um and how like the how the like I it's the power that I yeah, like obviously they need to, so I'm talking about supposed to describe the power that I seek, the power that I already have. Like obviously they should make the Peng Wizard the mayor king of Penguin City, because he already is. Like I've frozen it over. Your heroes couldn't defeat me. Like they'll never burn buildings and throw their magic around willy-nilly again because I've protected you. That sort of stuff.
Mm.
um and I'm supposed to name the people that you couldn't save. I don't know that there weren't any people that you couldn't save. You just sort of had a little couple moments with some buildings being a little toasty. um and I think that he comes to this balcony to like answer your call, and just says, "Are you back again to be defeated for a second time? What do you think has changed now? This is my seat of power. I am even stronger than before. Why do you think this time will go any different? Why don't you just save yourself the humiliation and just run away, go back home?"
If you're so sure you can beat me, it shouldn't be a problem for you, should it?
I'm here, aren't I?
um, so, oh, now it's my turn. So,
Yeah.
city. Tell the hero what they need to hear. Name the people they did save. Tell them how they helped make this world a better place. Guide them, encourage them, lift them up, help them carry the weight of falling short so they can stand tall when they need to most. So, I think as you float all fiery in this window, calling out the Penguizard to come and fight you, you remember um, all of the people that you had protected since taking up the mantle of Spitfire. You remember saving the mayor when you were at the mall for your signing, and you remember saving your favorite barista and the truck driver from the mechanical penguin and the person who had been frozen right nearby where you were. So you remember these people, and you know that the city needs you, um, and that the city believes that you're going to save them, because as long as there's a Spitfire, there's a Crab City. And you know that this is Crab City, and you are here to protect your city. So, the hero, this is your moment. Hear what the city has to say. Repeat the names of the people you saved to yourself. Think about how you helped people in need. Hear what the villain has to say. Honor those you couldn't save by standing tall in this moment. Describe how you fight and describe how you win.
Hell yeah. Um, so yeah, I think as she starts flying towards him, just engulfed in flames, she does indeed remember all the times she managed to foil his plans before and all the people she managed to save. And she knows that she can do it this time. She can finally beat him. And I think he tries to like shoot her with a beam of ice from his staff again to just try and completely like just like take away the flames and destroy her for a second time, but she sort of like moves her hands and creates this like barrier of fire with these blue streaks through it that melts the ice as it comes towards her, which startles and shocks the Penguizard and gives her a moment to then sort of fly and circle around him with these streaks of flame following her, and it creates this sort of like this tunnel of flame around him. And as she's doing that, she grabs the staff out of his hand and then like puts both her hands in the center of the staff, and the flames all around her just erupt and become completely blue as she melts the staff in her hands, and it just becomes this like molten liquid and just melts onto the ground in front of him, like in
hot
front of
butter.
his eyes. Yeah.
Hot butter. See what you did there. It brings out the flavor. Oh.
So yeah, and I believe she would have been assuming that once the staff is destroyed, it negates any of the effects that it had been creating, because the power doesn't come from him, it comes from the staff.
Yeah, so I think as soon as you melt it, you can see immediately all of the ice all over the city just starts to melt. Like it's not an immediate thing, but it's not being supported by the magic anymore. So
yeah. And yeah, she's just floating there, engulfed in blue flames in front of him. She just smirks. She's like, I guess you're not so powerful anymore.
he just kind of is like, he doesn't have any words. He's just like kind of like gnashing his penguin teeth.
And then we have a classic superhero. She just like punches his lights out. Screen goes black on the last panel.
Yeah. I like it.
Meghan is muted.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're still muted. Uh-oh.
So this time, for real.
Yep, now I can hear you.
This is what I get when I mute it on my mic and not just on Zoom. We move on to Until Next Time. With the villain defeated, the city is at peace. There will be another villain in time. There's always another issue to sell. But for now, there's quiet. For now, there's only a city. For now, the hero can rest. So, the city. Describe how the city recovers from the villain's actions. Describe how the hero's influence makes the city a better place and how their legacy is carried on in the hearts of the people. So, Crab City immediately starts to thaw with this magical instrument destroyed. Um, the ice that was covering the city begins to melt and thaw, and it becomes warm and maybe a little too dry for the amount of fire superheroes in the city, but that's the way we like it. um, and they just start changing all of the signs back and recovering and just making it the crab city that everybody knows and loves. And as previous Spitfires before her, Spitfire is just beloved in Crab City. And as long as there is a Crab City, there is a Spitfire. And as long as there's a Spitfire, there will be a Crab City. Um, and I think there's like a renewed appreciation for Spitfire and the heroes in the city, especially because you were the new Spitfire, and the city knew your mom when she was Spitfire and had still been kind of getting used to there being somebody else wearing this particular mask, but you have won them over, and the lines are so long at your meet and greets at the Crab City Mall. Everybody just like really wants to see you and like tells everybody about you, and it's yeah, everyone's just really all about Spitfire in Crab City.
Hell yeah.
So the villain, describe how the city mourns those it lost. Describe the shadows still cast by the villain even though they are long since defeated.
Yeah, so we see all these scenes of the city melting, or not the city, but all the ice melting, um, and and like revealing. And so there's like that initial feeling of like relief that this ice is no longer coating all of the buildings, but as it melts, we see the damage done underneath, and people are starting to like, there's all these shopkeepers mopping up the ice water as it's melted, and then realizing that like their storefronts are damaged and that they need to like find someone who can help repair the building. And there's a couple shots, there's a couple like panels of like small kids who are like playing around in oversized boots jumping in puddles, and there's like like a parent tries to like grab their kid like with sort of like a, that's maybe don't play in the magic ice water. And their other parent kind of is like, no, let them play, let them recover. This is helpful. Like we need to take advantage of the fact that for once our city is a little wet and not overly dry and prone to being lit on fire. And um and the people kind of take time to come together. Like everyone has water, like in that way that like when everyone has water and ice and damage to their buildings, they all kind of help each other out. They shovel like slop, like ice sleet stuff from in front of their off of the sidewalks to help people. And they come together, and they yeah, they show up to events with Spitfire to like stay warm and stuff like that, and be together as a city.
Oh.
All right. And the hero. Describe how, for an all too brief moment, the hero rests. Describe how they celebrate their victory. Describe how they spend their downtime. And describe how they pay their respects to those that helped them succeed and those that fell along the way. And then rest.
Well, I think immediately after there is no downtime at first because there's still a lot to be done.
Mhm.
And I think given Bree's involvement with the Peng Wizard, she is probably arrested, and her sister Charlotte is able to then control the family fortune. and because of her agreement with Spitfire, Spitfire is able to convince Charlotte to put that money towards helping rebuild all those damaged shop fronts and buildings and so on, and help with the cleanup of the city. And I think then the superhero team that Spitfire is a part of creates a sort of training program as like an olive branch to these other heroes like Sparkler, where they can come in and have access to the things that they have access to, and maybe Spitfire and Sparkler start to team up a little bit and become like a bit of a duo.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's our game. This was an absolute delight. Thank you both so much.
Thank you for Crab.
for whatever this is. Thank you for Crab and Penguin. This has been Anyone Can Wear the Mask by Jeff Stormer. I'm going to go get the link so that I can put it in the chat so everybody can check it out. You can check out Jeff on Twitter at Party of One Pod, and also check out his podcasts because they're amazing. So yes, do those things. I'm going to pass it to my guests while I find the link for this so that I can put it in the chat. So we'll start with, hey, thanks, James. So we'll start with, well, I was talking at the same time with Iza. Where can people find you? What are you working on? And what was your favorite part of whatever it was we just did for 3 hours?
I mean, the favorite part has to simply be Crab.
Hey,
I'm Iza. If you want to find more of what I do, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Evil Clever Dog, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is also called Evil Clever Dog. As well as being a TTRPG streamer, I am a cosplayer and designer and artist, and my channel all revolves around making cool things. So if you're interested in that, go and check it out. I just did a video on how to make leather-looking armor out of foam. It's all very fun. Come check out some cool crafting videos. In terms of other RPG streaming stuff, me and Meghan are both in Quest the Soaring City on Monday nights here on Chromatic Chimera. I also have a couple of new projects starting up soon. One of them being a Spire actual play called Downfall. We currently have an Indiegogo started to raise some funds to fund like paying the cast and doing some creating some art assets. I plan to do the character art if we make all that money. So yeah, and that's gonna be starting, we hope, in April, and it's going to be streamed on my friend Finn's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FinnTheBin. There is a post up on my Twitter with all the details of like the cast and the link to the Indiegogo. It's an awesome project and I'm really excited about it. And another thing I can now announce is if you want some more superhero things, I'm going to be in a superhero story one-shot, which is going to be a charity stream raising money for survivors of sexual assault, for a particular charity for that. That is going to be on March 27th, and you can find out more information about that by going and following at the Legends Cast 1, which is the Twitter account for that podcast.
All right, so James, who are you? Where can people find you? What are you working on? What's up? And what was your favorite part? And what was your favorite part of the game?
I'm James. You can find me on Twitter at @andthemeltdowns, where I talk about, well, mostly Star Trek now, but a lot of other things as well.
Star Trek.
A lot of Star Trek. Different kinds of Star Trek. All of the kinds of Star Trek. And I podcast. I tell more bad superhero stories and good superhero stories. On Protean City Comics, which is the name of the podcast. You can find it in any place that you look for podcasts. I make a lot of villains that are animals with human arms. So if you enjoyed that part of this story, come in for that because it's good times. It is a wild comic experience. And what else? I also do Stop Hack and Roll, which is a small podcast about tabletop game design, where my buddy and I talk about mostly our game design, but also concepts and in theory. And do I do anything else? I think that's it.
Do you?
I don't have any games for sale. I haven't finished it. I haven't finished writing any games.
Can you just finish? Can you just do I have to bully you?
I will finish one day.
Can you just finish writing your game?
And I think that my favorite part of this was that I what is my favorite part of this? I liked riffing off of the crab aesthetic. I came in thinking that I wanted to do I came in with a rough idea for a cold penguin wizard, and it worked so perfectly with everything else.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you prepared ahead
No,
of time?
I thought a little bit about different kinds of things.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
I
was definitely not prepared.
Here. All right, good.
The fact that I said
I don't think anyone could have been prepared for any of what happened.
The fact that I was like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of I could do a fire themed character. Is that too on brand? And then you were like, I'm doing an ice themed villain. Do it.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
It's very good. I hope that Spitfire and Peng Wizard will live again to fight on.
Can I plug one more thing that I forgot?
Yes.
We are almost in the month of March, which means it's time for my stupid March Masksness event, which is a cross-promotional masks podcast advertisement event in which we take 64 heroes from there's like 14, 15 different masks podcasts that I have grabbed characters from, and we're going to throw them into a big bracket. And over the course of the month of March, people vote and we decide who is the greatest kid champion.
Oh my God.
So look forward to that.
That's very exciting.
Pitting children against one another.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're teenagers.
Yeah. They have magic powers. Most of them have motorcycles. I don't know why.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that leaves me. Hello, I'm Megan. This is my show. I'm so happy everybody came and hung out. You can find me most places you find people on the internet at Meghan FTW. Where I just shout about a lot of stuff. If you like this high quality crab content, that's a lot of what I'm bringing to the table over on Twitter. You can find me, like Isa said, on Mondays here on Chromatic Chimera at 6:30 Eastern, playing in Quest the Soaring City, where I play an absolute garbage bag spy who I love with all of my heart. And I don't really have too much else going on. We'll be back next month, the last Tuesday of the month next month, for another episode of Unprepared. We are playing a wonderful game called Our Lady that my friend Jess wrote, and it's going to be a great time. What else? Oh, I also write games, and you can find any of my games at meganlinftw.itch.io. If you like lots of sad GM-less games, there's just so many sad GM-less games over there, and you can go check those out if you are so inclined. I already plugged Jeff. Go follow Jeff at Party of One Pod on Twitter and tell him how much you love this game, and go buy this game and play this game and make your own Crab City, because that's the universe yearns for all cities to become crab cities, just as all souls yearn to become crab. It's the natural progression of things. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. This has been a thing that has happened. We're so happy to have had you here with us. We are going to go raid our friends over at Weave the Tale. So until then, stay unprepared, and we'll see you next time. Night.